Hello, English learners, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today we're talking about money, but this time we're talking about borrowing money.
Right, so we're asking for money. We're going to the bank, and we are asking for a loan. But before we go, why don't we take a look at vocabulary preview?
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, so a loan is some money that you get from the bank, so we're talking about requesting a loan today.
All right, so you request for a loan or you ask for a loan.
Exactly, so to request is to ask.
Okay, very good. And that's the word that we have for vocabulary preview, so let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Hello, sir. May I help you?
Yes, I would like some information for requesting a loan.
Very well. Here are the general terms of our loan policies. We pride ourselves in having the lowest interest rate in the country for personal loans.
I see. So let me get this straight. If I borrow, let's say, $10,000, how much will I have to pay each month?
It depends on how long you take to pay it back. If we lend you $10,000 at an annual interest rate of 10% for 48 months, you would have to pay each month a portion of the loan, which is called the principal, and another small portion of the annual interest rate. This, of course, is considering that you don't default on a payment.
It sounds good, but there's just one problem. I have a terrible credit score.
That is a very serious problem, you see. The bank must assess your personal information, past loans, assets, and any other relevant information, such as your credit score, in order to approve your loan.
You know what? I don't really need the money. Thanks anyways.
All right, we're back. So now why don't we take a look at some of the key words that we'll find in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so on language takeaway today, we have a couple of different words. Why don't we start off with the loan policies?
Okay, so a policy is like a rule. For example, a government can have policies, but in this case, a loan policy is the rules regarding the loan that you have.
Right, so maybe the loan policies could include how long, what's the maximum length of your loan, or maybe what's the annual interest rate, etc.
How much you have to pay each month, like
Exactly.
that. So a loan policy is the rules related to the loan that you've taken out. And we have some very, very important words following this. And they go together. So the first word is to borrow.
Okay, so you probably know this word already, to borrow. So can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow some money?
Sure, let me give you my pen. Let me give you my money.
Okay.
But wait, giving is different because giving means I don't have to get it back.
Right. So if you want to give it to someone temporarily, then you lend them your pen or you lend them some money.
Great. So to borrow is to take something from someone knowing that you will have to give it back later.
Right.
And to lend is to give it to someone, right? So can you lend me your pen? That means, can you give it to me, please?
Right. And this is a common mistake with language learners, especially English learners, that they make the mistake of using borrow instead of lend. So, can you borrow me some money? Right. So, can you lend me some money?
Sure, but I expect you to pay me back later.
Okay, very good. And if I pay you back later, I'll include an interest rate.
Will you really?
No, not really.
No, not really. Mostly it's banks that ask for an interest rate. So in this case, an interest rate means the amount of money that a bank will charge you in addition to the money that you owe them.
Exactly. So it's called an interest rate, and it's a rate because it's a percentage. So
Like
it's usually
5%.
Exactly, 5-10%. That is an interest rate. And now moving on, if you have a loan and you have to pay each month, be careful to not default on your payments.
Okay, default. In the banking world, this means to not be able to pay your loan. So that means that if I owe $1,000 to you, Bank of Marco, and I don't have the money, I can't pay for it, then I default.
So to be late or to not make the payment.
It's a verb, to default.
Very good. And well, the person asking for the loan has a small problem. His credit score is not very good.
Okay, I think he calls it terrible. And one of the ways that you get a terrible credit score is by defaulting on a loan. But
Right.
it also means that maybe you borrow money or you have credit cards and you can't pay off your bills. And so a credit score is very important in America, and it's like a report card for your finances.
Right. So, for example, if your credit score is a report card and you have an A credit score, that means that the banks won't have a problem with lending you money. Or if you want to buy a new car, it'll be okay. But if you don't pay your bills on time or you default on your loans, then maybe you'll have a C or a D, and then people will not really lend you money in the future.
They won't trust you.
Exactly. All right, so that's credit score. That's all the words we have for Fluency Builder. Why don't we listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back shortly.
Hello, sir. May I help you?
Yes, I would like some information for requesting a loan.
Very well. Here are the general terms of our loan policies. We pride ourselves in having the lowest interest rate in the country for personal loans.
I see. So let me get this straight. If I borrow, let's say, $10,000, how much will I have to pay each month?
It depends on how long you take to pay it back. If we lend you $10,000 at an annual interest rate of 10% for 48 months, you would have to pay each month a portion of the loan, which is called the principal, and another small portion of the annual interest rate. This, of course, is considering that you don't default on a payment.
It sounds good, but there's just one problem. I have a terrible credit score.
That is a very serious problem, you see. The bank must assess your personal information, past loans, assets, and any other relevant information, such as your credit score, in order to approve your loan.
You know what? I don't really need the money. Thanks anyways.
All right, we're back. So now why don't we take a look at 3 key phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Let me get this straight. We're going to do Fluency Builder?
That's right.
Wait. So, okay, so this is our first phrase. Let me get this straight. And this is a fixed phrase. That means we always say it the same way. Wait, let me get this straight. We always say it the same way?
Right, so you're asking for a confirmation, or you're repeating what that person said just to be sure that it's correct.
Exactly. So maybe you don't understand something, or maybe you think you might have misunderstood. You say, hey, so let me get this straight. And you repeat what the person just said. It's a way for you to, like you say, get confirmation on what you've heard.
Very good. Let me get this straight. And now moving on, we have the phrase pay it back. You have to pay it back.
Okay, and so in this case, we have the verb to pay, but we also have the word back. So pay it back means to repay. So if we take out a loan, we obviously have to pay it back to the bank.
Right, so you have to pay the loan back.
Okay, so just remember that these words often go together, to pay it back. I'll pay you back, I promise.
Right, can you lend me $1? I'll pay you back tomorrow.
Don't worry about it.
All right, and the bank started off saying, we pride ourselves in having the lowest interest rate in the country.
Yeah, right.
All right, so we pride ourselves. What does it mean if I pride myself in something?
The word pride means to be really happy about something that has to do with yourself. So something that you're proud of is something that you want to tell a lot of other people about. So for example, a father may say, my son just got straight A's and he's an excellent soccer player. And so he's proud of his son. But to pride oneself means to be really happy with the way that you do something.
Right. So for example, if I've never smoked, right? So I can say I pride myself in being a non-smoker.
Or I could say, I pride myself in always saving lots of money for my paycheck.
Very good.
So it means I try to do this because I know it's a good thing.
But you feel very good about this, and you feel that, people should be proud of you as well.
So we could ask our students here, what do you pride yourselves in as a challenge?
As a challenge for the website. All right, so why don't we listen to the dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back.
Hello, sir. May I help you?
Yes, I would like some information for requesting a loan.
Very well. Here are the general terms of our loan policies. We pride ourselves in having the lowest interest rate in the country for personal loans.
I see. So let me get this straight. If I borrow, let's say, $10,000, how much will I have to pay each month?
It depends on how long you take to pay it back. If we lend you $10,000 at an annual interest rate of 10% for 48 months, you would have to pay each month a portion of the loan, which is called the principal, and another small portion of the annual interest rate. This, of course, is considering that you don't default on a payment.
It sounds good, but there's just one problem. I have a terrible credit score.
That is a very serious problem, you see. The bank must assess your personal information, past loans, assets, and any other relevant information, such as your credit score, in order to approve your loan.
You know what? I don't really need the money. Thanks anyways.
All right, very good. So as you say, saving is important, and well, sometimes do you think you need a loan?
I think sometimes people need loans because they want to go into business, for example. So people who want to go into small businesses or open their own companies need startup capital. And so this is a really great example of when people don't have the money lying around and will go to find a bank that will give them a loan.
So yeah, I think it's really important, especially for the economy of a country, for business loans or small business loans to be available, because sometimes it's very difficult to find a bank that will actually lend a person money to start a business. Usually they won't have a problem with lending them money to buy a new car.
Right,
But to start up a business, it's completely the opposite.
It is, and one of the really popular trends in foreign investment right now is called micro-lending, so microloans. And that means that if I want to help people in a very poor country, I can lend $100 for someone to buy a sewing machine or for someone to buy a small computer, $500 for a small computer, and that is a microloan. It's a very, very small loan for one thing, and that can help them towards their goal of being a business person.
Right, and you're not really getting money out of it, though. You're not charging like 100% interest rate.
You're not. You're charging like 1 or 2% interest, very low interest, and you're giving people a chance to pay the money back because it's such a small amount.
Wow, that's really good. A really positive thing.
Asking for a loan. Thinking about borrowing money. When people need money for something important, like buying a car, starting a small business, or paying for school, they sometimes think about borrowing money. This is often called asking for a loan. A loan is money that you get from a bank or another person, and later, you have to give it back. Sometimes, you pay a little extra money too. That extra money is called interest. Before someone decides to ask for a loan, they usually think a lot about it. They ask themselves, do I really need this loan? And can I pay the money back? It's a big decision. Taking a loan is not free. It comes with a promise. You promise to return the money, usually month by month, until it's all paid back. Many people also think about their situation. Do they have a job? Do they already owe money? If someone has a lot of money to pay each month, it might be hard to take another loan. People want to make sure they can handle it. Some people feel nervous or shy about asking for a loan. That's normal. It can feel uncomfortable to talk about money, but it's okay to ask questions and learn more. Asking for a loan is something many people do. The most important thing is to understand how it works before making any choices. Going to the bank. After thinking about borrowing money, the next step is going to the bank. Some people go in person. Others call or visit the bank's website. When someone goes to the bank, they usually want to learn about the loan. They might not ask for the loan right away. First, they ask questions. At the bank, a person called a loan officer can help. This person knows a lot about loans. They explain how everything works. They talk about how much money you can borrow, how long you have to pay it back, and how much the interest is. The bank wants to make sure that the person asking for the loan understands everything. The bank may give you papers or a small booklet with information. It tells you the rules. It shows you what will happen each month. Some words might be new or difficult. That's okay. If something is not clear, it's good to ask. There's nothing wrong with saying, "Can you explain that again, please?" Or, "I don't understand this word." When visiting the bank, it's helpful to bring some documents. These may include your ID, proof of work, and how much money you make. The bank uses this information to decide if they can give you a loan. They also look at something called a credit score. This number helps the bank Know how well a person has paid money in the past. Visiting the bank is just one step in the loan process. It's the beginning of learning what is possible and deciding if a loan is the right choice. Understanding the loan details. After the visit to the bank, the person learns more about how the loan works. This part is very important. There are many details to think about. The bank will explain how much money you can borrow. This is called the loan amount. Some people ask for a small loan. Others ask for more. The bank will say yes or no, depending on the person's situation. The bank also tells you how long you have to pay the money back. This time is called the loan term. Some loans are short, like 1 year. Others are long, like 5 or even 10 years. Every month, you must make a payment. The payment is made up of 2 parts, the principal and the interest. The principal is the real amount of money you borrowed. The interest is the extra money you pay to the bank. This is how the bank makes money. The interest is a percentage. A small percentage means you pay less over time. A big percentage means you pay more. It's important to look at this number closely. The bank may also talk about something called late fees. This is money you pay if you miss a payment or pay late. That's why it's important to know how much the monthly payment will be and if you can afford it. Some loans also have rules. These rules are called the loan terms or the loan agreement. You can read them before you say yes. If anything is hard to understand, you can ask the loan officer to explain. It's better to ask now than to be confused later. Knowing the loan details helps people make smart choices. When you understand how the loan works, it's easier to feel ready and confident. Deciding to take the loan. After hearing all the information, a person has to decide if they want the loan or not. This is not always easy. Sometimes, people feel excited because they can finally buy what they need. Other times, they feel nervous because they know they must pay the money back, month by month. It's a good idea to take a little time before saying yes. Some people go home and think about it. They look at their monthly budget. They check how much money they make and how much they already spend. If there is enough money left after paying bills and other things, they might feel okay about taking the loan. But if there is not enough, it may be better to wait. It's also smart to talk with someone you trust. This could be a friend, a family member, or even a coworker. They might help you see things clearly. They can ask questions like, "Do you really need this loan right now?" Or, "Can you pay it back without a problem?" Sometimes, people want to take a loan quickly. They want the car, the computer, or the trip right away. But waiting just a little can be a smart move. If a person waits and saves money, they may not need a loan at all. Or maybe they will only need a smaller one. Making a good decision means thinking with both your heart and your head. If it feels right and you understand how it works, you can feel good about your choice. But if you feel unsure, it's okay to say, "Not now." Applying for the loan. When someone feels ready and sure, the next step is applying for the loan. This means they tell the bank, "Yes, I want to do this." The bank will then ask for more information. This helps the bank decide if it can give the loan or not. First, the bank gives the person a form to fill out. This form asks for basic information: name, address, phone number, job, and how much money the person makes. The form may also ask if the person has other loans or debts. This helps the bank understand the person's financial situation. The person may need to bring documents to support the information. These can be a work letter, pay slips, or bank statements. The bank uses these papers to check if the person has a regular income and can make the payments. Sometimes, the bank also checks the person's credit history. This is a report that shows if the person has paid bills or loans on time in the past. If the credit history is good, the bank feels more comfortable giving the loan. If the history is not so good, the bank might say no or offer a smaller loan with more interest. After everything is ready, the person gives the form and documents to the bank. Then they wait. The bank looks at all the details and makes a decision. This can take a few days. Some banks move fast. Others take a bit more time. Applying for a loan is like asking the bank to trust you. That's why it's important to be honest, organized, and ready. Even if the answer is no, it's still a good learning experience. There may be other options or ways to try again in the future. After the loan is approved, when the bank says yes to the loan, the person usually feels happy and maybe a little nervous. Now the money will be sent to their bank account, or given to them in another way. This means they can buy what they need or do what they planned. But it also means the real work begins, paying the money back. The person receives a schedule. This shows how much they need to pay each month and when to pay it. Each payment includes part of the loan and part of the interest. It is very important to pay on time. If a payment is late, there may be a fee. If many payments are missed, the bank may stop the loan or ask for all the money at once. That can be a big problem. To avoid stress, many people set reminders. They mark the date on a calendar or use a phone app. Some people even ask the bank to take the money automatically from their account each month. This is called automatic payment, and it helps people stay on track. It's also a good idea to watch your spending while paying off a loan. Try not to take another loan at the same time, unless it's truly needed. Paying one loan is already a big job. Staying focused makes it easier to finish strong. After all the payments are done, the loan is finished. This is a proud moment. It shows that the person kept their promise and managed their money well. It can also help their credit score go up, which is good for the future. A loan is not just about money. It's about trust, planning, and learning how to be responsible. For many people, it's one step on the path to reaching their goals.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Percentage of the money paid to you by the bank. Interest rate. Common rules listed in an agreement. General terms. Measure. Calculate. Credit score.
Let's try that faster.
Measure. Calculate. Common rules listed in an agreement. General terms. Credit score. Percentage of the money paid to you by the bank. Interest rate.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Calculate. I have calculated the interest rate, and things are starting to look better. Calculate. Give me a moment to calculate your salary for this month. Calculate. Someone at work miscalculated my salary, and now I have to wait for another month to get paid. Credit score. I have a perfect credit score. There is no way I'm not getting this loan. Credit score. I forgot to pay my credit card bill, and now my credit score is compromised. Credit score. I really hope this doesn't ruin my credit score. Interest rate. This interest rate is insane. Interest rate. I wish I could get a loan with a lower interest rate. Interest rate. The bank's interest rate is lower than it used to be last month. General terms. I can help you understand this topic in general terms. I'm not so familiar with the details. General terms. In general terms, your behavior must improve, or else we will have to let you go. General terms. He explained some complicated science, but only in general terms. I forgot to read the fine print, and now I'm in trouble. Please make sure you read the fine print before you sign any document. I just read something in the fine print I don't completely understand. Can you explain?